Hello children, so welcome back. We have already discussed a lot about the chapter and we have seen where the various settlements came about. Today we are going to the next part of the lesson where we will find out what were the reasons why people travelled. We have seen that various people came and they settled down in various areas like the river Indus, the Ganga, right, Narmada. So now we will find out why did people travel. And we have seen that these people who have settled down in various areas, they never remained isolated. They never, kept themselves in watertight compartments. There was continuous movement of people. Alright, people from one area used to move to other area, and so there was continuous flow of people from one area to the other. So now we are moving to find out why did people travel. So first thing, man and woman traveled in search of livelihood, in search of occupation, alright, in search of earning their daily breads. Alright, so we see that was one of the prime cause why man and woman used to move from one area to other. Next, to escape from natural disaster. Many a times we see some people, they leave one place and they move to the other. Okay, the reason is because the area where they are living is affected maybe by flood or there is a drought, dry conditions, no rain. Okay, so in order to survive, they used to move from one area to other. Another very common reason why people traveled in the past was to conquer others' land. You will see people, they used to march with their armies, okay, to conquer others' land, military purpose. Another reason why we see there was constant traveling on part of people. Then when it comes to merchants, the merchants travel with caravans, or ships carrying valuable goods. So for their trade purpose, they travel for trade purpose. Alright, another very common thing why we see people used to travel. And then the religious teachers. See, every group of people had their own motives. People affected by disaster, to escape from disaster, they used to travel. Alright, some people, the unemployed people, the people not having any source of work, they used to travel in search of livelihood. Then those people, the rulers especially, with their armies, they used to travel to conquer others' land. Alright, merchants for their own trade purpose. And then religious teachers. Okay, the religious teachers or the preachers, they had their own purpose. They roamed about in various areas offering instruction, religious teachings and advice. Alright, and then people traveled. A very common reason is people travel in search of adventure. Alright, and if you look at these reasons why people traveled in the past, and in fact these are the same reasons why we travel today. Isn't it? We travel in search of livelihood. Many people, if they are affected by any disaster, they like to move to some other safer areas. Alright, of course, to conquer others' land is no more there now. And then merchants, we see moving from one place to other for their trade purpose, etc., etc. And then very common is for adventure. Alright, so these are the reasons why people used to travel in the past. Now, see the purpose of travel. Yes, for trade purpose, people used to travel. What are these? Drought, dry conditions, flood, okay, affecting the lives of the people. They need to save themselves, so they used to move to some other areas. Here, okay, military purpose with soldiers, with their armies. Alright, some rulers used to march to others' land to show themselves powerful by conquering others' land. And then we have the religious leaders, the religious preachers. Alright, moving from place to place, talking to people about religion, giving good instructions, advice, etc. And then purely for adventure. Sometimes people also travel for adventure. So these are the various reasons. We see that in the subcontinent, many people settled down in various areas, but then there was constant movement of people. Okay, there was various reasons why people traveled. Now, next we are moving to why was travel so difficult? You will see that during that time when we are talking of the subcontinent, alright, in the subcontinent, on one one side we have the desert, we have the seas, we have the rivers, big rivers, lofty mountains like the Himalayas. Alright, so all these these are the natural barriers. Okay, these are the natural obstacles. So during that time, man had to, take lot of pain to travel. Okay, so all this made the natural barriers made travel very, very difficult. But still, the natural barriers could not stop people from traveling. There was constant movement of people within the subcontinent. Okay, and next we are moving to find out what happened. Since people were constantly moving, alright, it resulted in mingling of culture. Alright, people from one area go to the other area, they mix up with different kinds of people. Okay, there was assimilation of culture, there was assimilation of ideas. Alright, so as people from across the frontiers came into the subcontinent and they settled down. This is one consequence. We got so many new settlements coming up within the subcontinent, and then the movement of people have enriched our cultural traditions. We got a mixed culture, varieties of culture we have, isn't it? And then people share new ways of carving stones. Okay, all those, every aspect of our life got changed. Even our social aspect of our life, our culture got changed. Okay, our religious beliefs got highly, what to say, varied. And then even the ways of carving stones, okay, that also got a different touch. Then music also changed because of mingling of people, new ideas coming up, even cooking food. Alright, so when we talk of food, a very common example that we may give you, today we know that some food like biryani. Alright, let's talk of biryani. I hope everyone is fond of biryani, chicken biryani, right? And then maybe like what we call shahi, Mughlai parathas and all. All this type of food. Okay, this came with the coming of the Mughals. Alright, so this is how we see when some people come in and we mix up with different people, new ideas come up, and then these all result in change in our society. We see some changes taking place in our society. Where are the changes taking place? Maybe in our language, in our dressing up. Okay, in our this is the dressing up, language, our culture, all this coming together, and then in these aspects also. Okay, so these are the consequences of people's movement. Then next we see the most important part here is names of the land. The subcontinent, the Indian subcontinent, alright, when we see different people cross the frontiers and came and settled here, they gave various names to the land. Alright. See first, India, when we are talking of India, it comes from the Indus. Alright, the word India comes from the Indus called Sindhu. It was called Sindhu, it's called Sindhu in Sanskrit. Then the Iranians and the Greeks who came through the northwest about 2500 years ago were familiar with the Indus. Alright, let's move to one of the next slide. See, the Iranians from here, Iran, and the Greeks from Greece, they traveled to India from the northwest frontier. Alright, and these people, the Iranians and the Greeks who came to the northwest about 2500 years ago, they were familiar with the river Indus. Yes or no? Because you remember where does river Indus lie? I hope you remember that. So as they entered towards the northwest, the very first thing, the natural, what you can say, barrier that they found is the river Indus. So they were familiar with this river. And these people, the Iranians and the Greeks, they call the Indus as Indus or Hindus. Alright, this is how they used to call the river Indus. And the land to the east of the river, okay, just suppose we have the Indus river here, and then they were coming from this side, and the land to the east of the Indus river was called India. Okay, so we see that is how they were giving the name to the land. And then another name for India we had was Bharata. and they were named as Bharata. And about them, about this group of people, you get a mention in the Rig Veda. And Rig Veda is one of the oldest composition in Sanskrit. Alright, so you get a reference of these people who lived in the northwestern side of India, and they were named as Bharata. Alright, so later we see that the land of our country, our land, got the name Bharata, and then Bharata was used for the country in the past. Okay, so this is what we see, and then this is how we see the Greeks, the Iranians, okay, coming to the Indus, meeting the Indus River out here. Alright, and then the land to the east of the Indus, they started calling as India. Alright, and then there were some people residing in the northwestern frontiers, northwestern side. Alright, mentioned in the Rig Veda. They were named as Bharata, and later we see that our entire land came to be called as Bharata. Right? So this is very important. You will go through it. Alright, and the next class we will continue with some more topics to be covered. Okay, and some assignments later. Okay, that's all for today, children. Thank you.